So what would be the top 3 mistakes that a hypnotherapist can make when they first start their business? And I thought about this myself. If I was going to start my hypnosis business again, I wouldn't make the same 3 mistakes I'm telling you not to make now. Number 1 is thinking. Number 2 is waiting. And number 3 is really comes into thinking, which is overanalyzing as well. The last one would be emotions. So thinking, waiting, and emotions. Now, regardless of the order, they all compete for the same spot and end up in the same place, which is a failing hypnotherapy business. This is a big one, waiting. Right now, go through social media, go through Facebook, even look at all the people you're qualified with, times that by just from, let's say, one training company, times that by 2 or 3, maybe even 6 times per year. Times that. You might be getting just from one training company, 100, 200, even 1,000 new students from that one training company. Times that training company by, let's say there's 200 or 300 really elite training companies in the world, times that over and over, and you can see pretty quickly what will happen if you wait to launch your business. If you wait to launch your business, there might be another 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 other hypnotherapists that won't wait. They're at the same stage as you, that won't take no as an excuse, that want to take action on their business. Gone are the days, guys, where there wasn't a lot of competition. And people can argue all day long and say, Scott, I don't have competition. I'm in my own lane. I put out better energy, blah, blah, blah. These are just all conclusions and just all excuses that you don't want to take action. At the end of the day, it logically states, guys, there's more hypnotherapists and coaches getting qualified right now. There's more people becoming trainers. There's more people learning NLP that all want to get out and do the same thing as you. So waiting for that right time, waiting for the stars to align, waiting for the sun to come out and do all those cool things, all you're doing is risking your spot in what is becoming a very overcrowded industry. Now, when I say overcrowded, that shouldn't scare you, and I don't want to turn you off becoming a hypnotherapist, because there's still room, a ton of room for the hypnotherapists and coaches who are going to do the right thing as far as marketing, niching, all of those economics and all that sort of stuff. So waiting, guys, don't wait. What are you waiting for? If you're using excuses like, I'm going to launch in 6 months because it's at the end of the year and it's after my next holiday I'm going on, I'm just going to practice for another 6 months till I get really, really confident. All you're doing is delaying the inevitable. And each day you wait, there's another 100 hypnotherapists being qualified. And these are just arbitrary numbers, but hopefully you get my point. Waiting, no chance of that, guys. You have to dive in the deep end. Learn how to swim once you're in the deep end. I have yet to see it where a hypnotherapist can take all the best action they can, more than everybody else, be more motivated, sharp more than everybody else, be more precise than everybody else, who wins every time. I've never seen it. The ones that try and perfect everything, the ones that try and get everything right, the ones that are waiting for that right time will always fail, because that will be the excuse they land on every single time. So guys, waiting will be, I would think, one of the worst things you can do when starting hypnotherapy business. And I know this from experience because I did this as well, and I wasted a hell of a lot of time. Next is thinking. Overthinking, thinking too much, trying to get things right. There is no such thing as perfect. I mean, even today in my own training company, I don't get my social media right all the time. A lot of my videos don't really hit the mark. 9 times out of 10, if you were to say, well, Scott, do your content go viral? Do people see all over social media? The answer is no. We're very rarely worried about, or we don't worry about likes and shares, but very rarely do we crack, let's say, a couple of hundred likes, a couple of hundred shares. We don't even get close to that. Even on our major our main YouTube channel, we're lucky if we get a couple of hundred likes or a couple of hundred views, per video. And I don't care about this, because if I was to look at these analytics, and we tell this to our students all the time, looking at like, shares and things like that, you're looking at the wrong thing that poses where your business is in the industry and the success you're having. Overthinking your niche, overthinking the lighting, overthinking what captions show up on your video, overthinking because you stumbled over your own words, just like I did just before. Stop worrying about these things. Every time you start thinking about something that does not matter, you're taking mental energy away and focus away on the things that don't matter. The thing I tell all of my students, quantity over quality. If we go back to when I talked about before, the industry being overcrowded and too much competition or waiting is going to be a bad thing, quantity is the only way to shine. Quality shows up later, but it's based on not quality of what you think. It's not your own opinion of quality. It's the quality that your clients see in you. And I don't know about you, but if I was going to buy a product or a service and I was going to spend good money, I'd want to see that person everywhere. If you're talking about in your mind that you're the best therapist, that you want to do quality over quantity, one video a week is good enough for your social media, all it takes is for another therapist to come along, do 2, 3, 4, 5 videos per day, show up more places than you, show up everywhere your clients are. Even if the quality is not as good, but just have more quantity, that person's going to win every time, because the people watching it are going to associate that therapist to that niche and be seeing that person everywhere. I mean, look at the gurus for yourself. Every program, every service you've ever bought, have you found that you notice that mentor everywhere? They're not sitting back waiting. They're not sitting back thinking. They're just on all the time. They're grinding 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just like you guys should as well. So thinking about, I've just picked this niche, and then 2 days later, overthinking, and then picking again, and then changing a word here or there, things like that. Overthinking the minute details will get you into a lot of strife, because you start thinking, you start over-analyzing, you start cementing in new beliefs, you start making conclusions in all the wrong way. And what are you doing? You're taking away your mental energy from what? Taking action regardless of how perfect it is, guys. I mean, this video right here is probably not perfect, and I don't care, but it's another video amongst the tens of thousands of pieces of content that we create every single year that'll add to the collection, that'll add to the overall feel that I know what I'm talking about as a trainer, as a mentor, and as a therapist, whatever you want to call it. And I'm getting in front of my audience and showing them that I have depth of knowledge, I care about their success, and I want them to succeed as well. So waiting, thinking really ties into the same things. Do not do it. The last big one is emotions. Yes, I understand we are humans, we are not machines, but being too overly emotional in business will get you into a very bad place, because just like over-analyzing things, you'll now use your emotions to judge how successful your business is. And emotions comes down to social media, guys. Let's talk about this. I'm creating content, Scott, but I'm not getting likes. I'm creating all this content, not getting shares. No one's watching it. That must mean that my business isn't successful. And the emotions I'm feeling right now, I'm getting frustrated, I'm getting pissed off. I'm going to change my niche. And then 2 days later, I'm going to do the same thing. Niche jumping, social media jumping, starting new this, starting new that, building new websites, and all this craziness all comes down to your emotions. We teach this in our 100K coaching program, and I suggest everybody learn to do this. You have to learn to switch those emotions off, because those emotions will have you making very bad decisions. If you have a bad day, you have an emotional fight with your partner, you have an emotional client that you didn't get along with, then you look at your business and say, oh, it's too hard. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to give this up and go do something else. And a week later, I'm going to come back to it. Those emotions will get you into a very bad place. So guys, waiting, thinking, and emotions, stop all of those three. And I guarantee if you can almost become like a machine inside your minds. A machine is something that doesn't have emotions. It doesn't have a schedule. It just does what it's programmed to do day in, day out without overthinking it. If you stop the overthinking, you stop the waiting, and stop the emotions, you'll find yourself in a very peaceful place where you can take action. And that's all that matters. That's the only thing you can control. You cannot control likes and shares, so don't bother. That's Facebook's job. You cannot control the emotions you're going to have, so you want to pull those things out of your business and start using a lot of logic. I know we as hypnotherapists talk a lot about the unconscious mind and how powerful it is, which it is, but a lot of us forget the business side, which should be all logic. It should be emotionless. It should be about taking action without thinking. It shouldn't involve any thinking. If you're thinking about what to do, what have you already done? You've screwed up your schedule. You should have a schedule that does all the thinking for you. If in your schedule you have 2 days off, let's say Saturday and Sunday, have those 2 days off. If your schedule states that on Monday you're going to start work, as in doing your social media at 9 a.m. till 5 p.m., do that thing. Don't get to that day and say, oh, I don't feel like it, I don't this. 9 times out of 10, the stuff that you do each day, you're not going to feel like doing, because it's going to become boring and monotonous. And I talked about this in a video before. You look through our catalog, I said this one thing will make you the most amount of money in your hypnotherapy business, something like that. That's what I mean about having a rigid and strict schedule to stick to, and doing those things without thinking, doing those things without the emotional input. Too much emotion in a business will have you making emotional decisions about all the wrong things. And worst off, if you make the wrong decision about the right things in your business, or even the wrong things in your business, and they turn out to be the only things that are making you money, you'll screw up the entire system, guys. So all in all, quick recap, stop the overthinking. Do not wait. What are you waiting for? You're never going to get it perfect, so just do it. Perfection comes from from taking the action. There's no such thing as perfect right at the start. Quantity over quality, guys. Take the emotion out. Take action every single day, regardless whether you feel like it or not.